Greetings everyone, my name is Buck Business. Konnichiwa, I'm Kawaii Critic, and today we're here to review My Little Pony Season 8, Episode 11, Meltdown. Warning, this episode will contain spoilers, and I'm saying that because an event happens that Hasbro terribly shown in every commercial of the show, but we feel it necessary for our channel to, yes, claim spoilers. I believe that is the proper way to handle this, to try to be better than Hasbro's commercialization of showing off what happens at the end of the episode for a teaser trailer to get people to watch My Little Pony. Nonetheless, let us begin this review. So, Spiky-kun travels with Rarity-san, going over to a phoenix that we have seen once before, and I believe it was in the episode where that involved Spiky-kun taking care of a phoenix. They do recognize each other, and in their little travels, Spiky-kun is hiding a little red bump on the side of his face. So once Rarity-san sees this, she says that they should go visit Zagora-san. So Spike decides, for the moment, to go back home and rest up. However, when he wakes up the next day, more red spots appear, and Twilight suggests that maybe he should stay at the home. And she talks about how she used to get breakups when studying for Celestia's school. However, Spike starts to breathe fire out, which allows not good on what's going on, and makes Twilight want Spike to temporarily leave until they can find a solution. So he heads out, donning on his little jacket, hat, and shades. And to try to excuse not going with Rarity-san, he suggests that he take a tour. And while he's taking it, his voice starts to crack in the more silent whispering voice, and to compensate for that, he eventually has to start yelling in order to anyone to hear what he's saying. He continues to yell into the library, and then Smolder-chan yells back at him, and then she is the one that ends up fighting him afterwards and talks to him about this molting process and how it's natural for dragons to go through with this. Through great continuity, Spike talks about the time where he grew in size and how that had to deal with greed, and he was afraid that that was what was going to happen again. However, Smolder clarifies that that's a different process, and this is just a more natural growing process. So we see that Rarity is starting to lose her hearing, which had something to do with apparently visiting the Phoenix area. I don't know. They didn't really clarify, like, what set that off. I don't think. I don't remember if they did. But Rarity visits the shop as well and mentions a pungent smell as Spike is hiding there currently. So Zakura-san gives her an ear potion, and she's looking at it and doesn't know what to do with it necessarily. But Spiky-kun sneaks away. And afterwards, Zakura-san sees that she leaves and then goes to find Spiky-kun, which he's hiding under a shield. And then he says that there is a giant rock bird hovering above them, and nonetheless there surely is, and it grabs Sakura-san. Unfortunately, Rarity returns, not sure what the instructions are, and also gets caught by the bird. Spike gets caught temporarily but is able to breathe fire and temporarily escape, and he starts glowing red, which makes the itch even more apparent in having to deal with itching his scales. So, after he barrel rolls out safely, Twilight also comes to Sakura's place, also to get some cream to help out with Spike's condition. And once Spike says what the situation is, he quickly lets Twilight take over, where she starts blasting away at the bird. So, while that's going on, Spikey-kun starts turning into a rock. And when he breaks out, this is where the spoiler alert comes in, he sprouts out wings. That's right, ladies and gents. Spikey-kun's no longer a baby dragon. So no more complaining from Mr. Fiery Scorcher-san about Spikey-kun being badly written because he's a child, because that excuse is getting thrown out the window in this episode. And again, great continuity from previous episode about the whole breaking out thing and turning into the greed monster. He was afraid of that happening again, and even Twilight-san is so much better handled here, becoming more of a parental figure, saying that they'll handle whatever comes next together. So they've come even a long way with that. So Spike gets used to having wings pretty quickly, and he joins Twilight and starts to distract the bird, the giant bird, and from there, he burns the bird's face. Twilight grabs Sakura when she falls, and Spike grabs Rarity. Again, Spike reiterates that he had the fear of what growing up would, what dangers that could possibly pull out. And it's a reasonable fear from, again, that last episode. But again, as we just mentioned, Twilight ensures him that they will deal with it together. And in the meantime, Rarity-san gets Spikey-kun to help him with some dress building. And that was the episode of Meltdown. It's another great Spike episode. Quite frankly, Spike has been on a phenomenal roll throughout the past few seasons for the episodes that involved him directly. I'm going to say this with the utmost confidence. I believe Spike has become the best written character in My Little Pony. And as of right now, I also will concur that Spike has the best character arc in the entire show right now. We've seen him grow up, and even through his most challenging and, yes, even more hated episodes, there was something he got out of it that I think not only he needed, but the audience needed him to see. And we were never there to say, oh, it's a bad episode because it's Spike. That's a bad reviewing technique. We are here to say that, no, that's not fair. Just saying an episode's bad because it's this character isn't a good enough excuse. You have to find reasons within the writing, or perhaps something else, or the presentation, or the execution, not the character. You can't fault the character for the problems they are going through. He went from being a kid, a misguided kid that kind of made up his own rules and was snarky, and these were his faults. And he's dealt with them. And yes, we're not saying that some of his previous episodes are great. We're just saying we'd rather see reviewers say that it's bad because it's poorly written, rather than saying it's bad because it's Spike. Because recent seasons have shown that Spike has become the best written character on the show. Best written arc of growing up into this adult or teenage dragon at the very most, if that's the next aging process of what he's going through. This is a big deal. Another big deal in the realm of My Little Pony. I think none of us expected Spike to actually grow up within the vicinity of this entire show, and it just happened. So yes, this is a phenomenal episode. I would dare argue that it might be the best episode this season of MLP. Yep, and it's gonna be pretty tough to beat. I mean, it stays on its course. It handles the subject of puberty, which is essentially what this episode is about, really, really well. It goes through the embarrassing aspect, it goes through the voice cracking, it goes through the actual physical showing of what it would look like, at least for a dragon, and, you know, what that would look like comparatively speaking to a human. So again, this episode is really well handled. Yes, there are, and even for the things that seem like they're sort of unexpectedly sort of handled, they explain it away pretty well. They were trying to all help Spike, which is why they all ended up at Zecora, because they all felt that that would be the best person, or pony, or zebra in this case, to go to in this case. She has usually the remedies that revolve around things like this. At least that's what they've concluded to. And I don't think using magic would have solved anything. As Smolder explained earlier on in the episode, it's a natural process. You can't magic away a natural growing process. I don't believe that's even how magic works. I don't think magic can do that. And that's saying a lot, considering what magic has done in this show. Nonetheless, that is our review of Meltdown, and if you enjoyed this review, then please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Stick tap, ping tong toady! And until next time, everyone, farewell.